Hey there, Regina Andler here, and it is time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Have you seen those little hashtags that are out there? They're all over social media. They're on posts, they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, they're on LinkedIn. You see these things. It's the little hashtag, the pound sign for us old people. we, we refer to it as the pound sign, and we call them hashtags. What is a hashtag and why do you need to be using them on your posts? So, in a nutshell, the simplest terms, a hashtag is for search purposes. So, when you use a hashtag that is relevant to something that people are searching for, when they search that word, chances are pretty good that your post, your article, your whatever it is that you put the hashtag in is going to show up. So when you think about using hashtags, they're literally for search purposes. Now, I don't know about you, but I've seen some posts that are out there that have, a laundry list of hashtags. So today I want to give you some things to do with hashtags and some things to avoid with hashtags. Now, before we get to that stuff, I'm going to give the 2 second algorithm conversation here. So, on all of the platforms, there is this algorithm, which is basically a program in the background that is looking for stuff. Now, it's looking for hashtags as well. The algorithm, what it does is there's no people, it's a program. And what it's doing is in the background, it is either helping more people see your stuff or helping more people not see your stuff. And when it comes to hashtags, this is critical because if you have that laundry list of hashtags out there, as far as the algorithm is concerned, you're just getting all spammy and it'll stop showing your stuff to people. And you'll start wondering, how come nobody's liking my post? How come nobody's commenting on this? I thought it was really great information and nobody's commenting on it. It's probably because the algorithm said, wow, look at all the hashtags on there. You've got way too many hashtags. We're just not going to show you to so many people because we think you're a spammer. So that is one first little tip because you want to pay attention to the algorithm. And I just want to have that in the back of your mind as we talk about some of these tips. So what are some of the tips for using hashtags? Well, first and foremost, use relevant hashtags. What do I mean by that? If you're a coach or consultant, let's say you're a weight loss coach, and you are posting about what food to eat. Hashtag nutrition makes perfect sense, right? Now, if you put hashtag business on a post, even though maybe you are a business, that's not relevant to the post. If the post is about nutrition and things to eat and that kind of thing, just make it relative to whatever the content is in the post. So that's tip number one. And then the next one is to use a mix. Use a mix of popular hashtags. And how do you know which hashtags are popular? There's multiple ways you can do that. You can go out on Google and search. You can use AI to search for popular hashtags. If you use AI to search, use an AI tool like Bard or one of the ones that pulls up current stuff. ChatGPT does not have current information, so it's not going to give you current hashtags. So if you use Bard, which is Google's AI, that has actually current information. So it'll bring up the current hashtags. And you can tell it to list the top 20 most popular hashtags that are out there right now. And it will list for you all of the hashtags. Now, again, if the hashtag isn't relevant, so whether it's popular or not, if it's not relative to your content in your post, don't use it. Make sure it's relevant to what you're actually posting. So when you're looking for those popular hashtags that are out there, go searching for whatever it is in your industry. So there's a little bit of research that needs to be done on hashtags before you actually start hashtagging. And that is, do your research. Do your research as to what is it that people are actually searching for? What is it that they want to know? So going back again, if you're a weight loss coach, What are people searching for with regards to weight loss? Are they just typing in weight loss tips? Are they nutrition tips, breaking habits? What are they searching for? And once you get those search terms that they're looking for, remember a hashtag is set up for people to search so that when they search and they say nutrition and you've used hashtag nutrition in your post is likely to show up. So it's all about the search. However, it's not about the words that you want to use, it's the words that they're using. It's the words that your clients, your prospects, all of the people out there that you're looking to reach, it's about what they're searching for, not what you want to put in a hashtag. And that just that just brings me to the don't be cutesy. Cute hashtags, sure, they look like cute hashtags. I've seen hashtags that are like this long because people wrote out an entire line. You know, this is my dog smiling. Hashtag, this is my dog smiling. And it's like, why? It's not doing you any good. And it's confusing the algorithm. So be careful what you're posting. Make sure it's relevant. Don't be cutesy and do your research. So that's where we're starting here. Now, the next thing is don't overuse hashtags. Again, I've seen posts where there's like a ton of them. So generally speaking, 3 to 5 hashtags is kind of the norm. Now, if you've ever seen the posts of the day that are out in the group here, you'll notice there's a set of hashtags that are on there. They're very consistent. The only thing that changes is the last word, which is what the theme of the week is. And that's on purpose because it's repetitive. You want to be consistent with your hashtags. So when somebody does search for the information, you're more likely to show up because you've used it. So be consistent with your hashtags. You should have a list of hashtags that's like your go-to list of hashtags. Whatever your business is, you know what the search terms are for your clients. If you don't, research. And those are the terms that you're using, and you want to be consistent about using them. So more and more and more your stuff shows up when somebody uses that hashtag to search with. So the next one is to use, to track your hashtag performance. Okay, so I had this one written down over here. So out on Facebook, I know you can go out and check the analytics. And out, I believe on Instagram, you can do that too. I've never done that before. So I'm pretty sure Instagram has it as well because it's owned by Facebook and it's probably under Meta. And you can track you could track your hashtags and see how they're performing. Are people actually searching for that hashtag? So make sure you're looking for that information and you're continually updating because the search terms are going to change over time. So just because you're using a search term today in your hashtag doesn't mean it's going to be the same one a month, a year, 5 years from now. So you want to keep up on whatever those hashtags are that you're using and make sure that they are not just relevant, but they're current, right? So now the thing is that when it comes to hashtags, if you have an international audience, one of the ones that I wrote down here is if you have an international audience, use some international hashtags. Now, how do you know how to use international hashtags? If you go out, there are a bunch of different hashtag generators out there. Hootsuite has one. There used to be one called Smart Hash. I don't believe that exists anymore. And there's other ones out there. And again, you can use AI, use something like Bard, something that has current information to actually generate and search for trending hashtags, whether they're international or otherwise. Search for ones that are out there. So if you have an international audience, make sure you're hitting the international audience as well with whatever they're looking for, because different cultures, different countries, they may be searching for something completely different. I'm here in the US, and it may be that somebody's searching for something and maybe they're in Greece, maybe they're in Germany, maybe they're in Spain, and I'm not using the words that they would be using. And again, they could be using English words. It doesn't mean I have to speak in their language. It could be words that are in English. However, because of their culture, because of what they look for, they're looking for something different. So if you have an international audience, when you're doing your research, be aware that there may be some other terms that you want to start including in your hashtags. Now, Here's one thing that I want to actually talk about. Those are some tips for how to use the hashtags. Here's some things that I want you to avoid when it comes to hashtags. First off, first and foremost, again, we don't need the big stack of hashtags. Hashtags 3 to 5 is kind of the sweet spot. You may have a couple more, may have one or two. That's okay. Remember, the purpose of a hashtag is for people to actually search it. That's what it's all about. It's a search term. And so you want to be consistent and show up and not be all over the place. If you put too many hashtags out there, chances are pretty good that algorithm is going to go, hey, this looks like a spammer, and less people are going to actually see your post. It might be nobody sees your post. And you're going to be looking at it saying, wow, this is great info. I don't understand why I didn't get one like. And it's because of the hashtags that you used. Probably has nothing to do with your post. It has to do with the hashtags. So be careful when you're crafting the content. The hashtag is part of your content. So just like the rest of your content, you want to make sure that it belongs, it's relevant, and you're not putting a ton of them in there. Now, the next thing is don't use banned hashtags. Now, here's an interesting thing because you'd be surprised. I actually did a search because I was looking for this purpose, some banned hashtags. So I looked up banned hashtags. And what I found actually surprised me because one of the hashtags that is banned is hump day. So if you've ever posted a Wednesday hump day picture and put hashtag hump day, or even from a nutrition standpoint, if you're that weight loss coach, that the hashtag lose weight shows up as a banned hashtag. And when I mean banned, it means that the algorithm's kicking it out, going, I'm showing your stuff to less people because this is spammy. And here's the thing, it thinks that those ones are banned because the spammers use them a lot. So unfortunately, we are at the mercy of the spammers that are out there. So when they start using a whole bunch of stuff that we want to use, yeah, they get us banned on the stuff that we want to use because they're posting. The algorithm picks it up because they're doing the same thing. The spammers are out there doing the same thing. They're going, what are people searching for? Because they want to get in front of as many people as they can. And so they're going, what are people searching for? Wow, this is a really popular hashtag. I, Mr. Spammer, I'm going to start using this hashtag. And all of a sudden, that hashtag is banned because now it's like the internet is flooded with that hashtag. And the algorithms are going, whoa, hold on. This is a bunch of spammers out here. We're banning that hashtag. So now all of a sudden, this hashtag you've been using forever is now banned. So keep aware. Now, how do you keep aware? Here's the thing. If Facebook, if Instagram, if they stop showing your posts, and on Instagram, I believe it's called being shadow banned. So if you're being banned, and they call it shadow ban because you don't know it. You just have a post out there and you just notice that you're not getting any likes, you're not getting any little hearts, or you're not getting any comments, you're not getting anything on your post. Just all of a sudden, nobody's responding and you're wondering why. That's the time to go back and look at the content and see what's in there and maybe just change it up. You can take that same post, repost it again, change out the hashtags, and see if you get a different result. So there's something to try if you've had those posts where you're like, this was fabulous information. I don't understand why nobody's clicking on it. Just take that same post, if it's fabulous information, and then go and change up the hashtags and see if it makes a difference. So, and I see a Facebook user out there commenting, and yeah, it happens to you a lot. I see that. Yeah, it happens to me too. Because I'll tell you, I put some hashtags out there and I don't realize that they're being banned either. So when I'm posting stuff about goals, I put hashtag goals. Guess what? Goals is being used all over the place now, and the algorithm's starting to pick it up. So you change up the hashtags a little bit. It might be, I change it to SMART goals, or I change it to goals for you, or if you change it up a little bit, now it's a different hashtag. So again, it needs to be relevant, though. It needs to be what they're searching for. So if people aren't searching goals for you, it's kind of a moot point. So again, The last thing that I want to talk about is don't repeat yourself on the things to avoid. So don't repeat hashtags. Check your hashtags, especially if you have, if you have more than 3 to 5 of them, make sure that you're not repeating any hashtags. That is an instant red flag for the algorithm to say, this is a spammer. Now, you're not a spammer, right? I know this. You're not a spammer. However, the algorithms don't know that. And the algorithms go, wow, they're duplicating hashtags in here. They're really trying to get people to search for this, click on this, or whatever. And so they start blocking you. And so hashtags are a necessary thing. It's you want to use hashtags. You just want to use them in a conscious way so that you make sure that it's relevant to what you're doing, it's relevant to the post. You have maybe a set of 50 hashtags. You have your business, and in your business there's a whole bunch of things that based on your industry that your clients search for. And again, if you don't, go do some research. What are those terms that they're searching for? Hashtag search. That's what it's all about. So the hashtag is also used, it indexes things based on the hashtag as well, but it's mostly used for searching the content on social media. So when you think of those hashtags that you're using, make sure that they're relevant, you're not duplicating them, and that you don't have that big long laundry list of hashtags that are out there. Those are kind of the main points here. There's a lot of information about hashtags that is out there, and there's a lot more that I could tell you about hashtags. The thing I just want to get across is you need to use hashtags. That's how people find you. It's the search, and you want to make sure that it makes sense, it's relevant to you, your business, your post, and you don't get yourself blocked by the algorithm. So that's what I have for you today. If you have any questions on any of this information, post it in the comments below this video, and I'd be happy to go into more detail. There is a ton of detail that we can go into on hashtags, and I'd be happy to expand on it if you have a specific question. Just enter it in below. That's what I've got for you this week. We'll see you next time on Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Bye for now.